A source close to Luka said a beast was awoken inside of him after Dallas ripped him in the media for being out of shape. Well, maybe that's why Luka looked like this when he got to the Lakers, and as of yesterday, looks like this. That might be the fastest body transformation in NBA history. So what does Luka do against his old team on the court? Well, people noticed pregame. GM Nico Harrison was on the court watching Luka warm up. What does this man want Luka to drop 50? Actually, it would have been kind of a coward move for Nico not to show up. But the game starts and Luka drops a quick 7 points. LA crowd actually thanking Nico Harrison.
Thank you, Nico!
But Dallas doubled Luka the rest of the game, so instead of scoring a ton, he set up his teammates. Beautiful hit-ahead pass to LeBron James. Despite Clay hitting clutch threes, Luka hit Braun for the dagger and a triple-double. And now we've got experts like, hey, it's time to take the Lakers seriously as legit contenders, which they better be, because if not, there is a disaster waiting for LA that will actually make them regret trading for Luka Doncic. But I am playing Underdog every single night down the stretch here in the NBA season. I'm also giving out picks over on my Instagram. Yes, yesterday's happened to hit. Won a little money, but I always have fun playing pick'em, where I pick higher or lower for whatever game I'm going to watch that night. You win a lot of money, by the way, with their game streaks. 11 in a row, 1,000x your cash. So let me give you my 2 picks for tonight. First up is James Harden. We're going to go lower on his points and rebounds. He's been pretty bad recently. And then Derek White, lower on his 3-pointers. And best of luck if you're tailing those picks. By the way, check out this map to see if Underdog's available in your area. States like California, Texas, and Florida with champions. And please, if you've never played Underdog, the best way to help this channel is to use my promo code AMHOOPS. Plus, you get up to $1,000 in bonus cash and a special free pick. So Luka has transformed not just his body, but his game. Do you remember what they were saying about him just 2 weeks ago? What's wrong with Luka Doncic? Dude missed 2 clutch shots down the stretch against the Hornets. JJ Redick had to bench Luka in the final seconds for bad defense, and LaMelo still hit the bucket. Then LeBron missed not 1, but 2 potential game winners. Not great, but the actual problem in that game was defense. The Hornets coach basically said, hey, just hunt number 77, and it worked. Over and over, Charlotte exposed Luka's bad D, which we've known for years. So what would JJ Redick do about Nikola Jokic without Anthony Davis? Well, thinking basketball shows Rui Hachimura starts on Jokic, then Austin Reeves picks up, then just triple team Joker off the ball, daring his teammates to shoot. And luckily, Christian Brown, Aaron Gordon, and Russell Westbrook can. So Joker finished against the Lakers with just 13 points, his second lowest of the season. 7 shot attempts, the lowest, and 6 turnovers. Luka was amazing. LA has figured it out. It may have taken a couple weeks, but Luka knows how to dominate as a Laker. But there is one thing about this team JJ Redick cannot solve as a coach. Do you remember how much they tried to give up to get center Mark Williams? The Lakers tried to get Mark for Dalton Knecht, Cam Reddish, and control of 2 first-round picks. The rest of their picks, this is their final move, is how desperate they were for a real center. Why? Because now all they have is Jackson Hayes and Alex Len and kind of Rui at center. Probably the worst center rotation in the NBA. And oh yes, it may have worked against Dallas, who doesn't have a center right now, or Joker, who would obviously adjust in the 7-game series. But this center issue is the actual reason that they're not title contenders. And when things do go horribly wrong for LA, the worst case scenario becomes clear. What if Luka didn't re-sign this offseason? And you might think, oh, that's crazy. Not according to Brian Windhorst.
Luka doesn't have his incentive to sign in L. He never said, I want to be a Laker. There's dozens of players over the years who make it crystal clear they want to be Lakers. Luka never said that. He has got to see how they build this team around him and what they do in June and July.
What? How could that happen? And I totally feel for people saying right now down there in the comments, dude, he just got here. Can we slow down with trade talks? And yes, I get it. But this decision is coming up in a few months. How do we not talk about it? The way it would happen is this. The Lakers have too many issues to overcome this year. The center position and defense come back to bite them. Playing with LeBron isn't all it's cracked up to be. Do you remember when D'Angelo Russell left and he said he was grateful to finally play free basketball? What if Luka ends up feeling the same way? Then in the offseason, he refuses to sign an extension to stay. And at that point, LA would have two choices. Either play out his contract and hope he resigns, or start fielding trade offers. They can't afford to lose him for nothing. LA's got zero history with this guy. How could they hope that he resigns? They would have no choice but to call other teams to get their best offer. And you might think that is BS hype, but it is an actual discussion in the Lakers front office right now. So what are the options for Luka this summer? Well, he can sign a 4-year max extension for $228.6 million to stay in LA, sign a shorter deal, 3 years, $165 million, or do nothing, reach free agency next year. But why would he sign a 3-year deal? Well, it's the same scenario with Donovan Mitchell in Cleveland. When the Jazz traded him, Spida lost out on a supermax contract. The only way to get that in Cleveland was to sign a short 3-year deal to get 10 years in the NBA, then sign supermax money. And that's exactly what Luka could do. Dude theoretically lost $116 million from that trade, and the only way to get that back is to sign a short deal in LA. But what if he does option number 3? If he wants to test free agency, every team in the NBA wants him, and a lot can actually get him. A ton of teams would have enough cap space to sign Luka outright. The Bulls have the most projected space, then the Spurs. And yeah, the Lakers are in there, but I mean, OKC? Luka could pick his spot to create a dynasty if he wants. Yeah, the Lakers have a window here to convince him to stay, but you see now why Windhorst said LA has to convince Luka they can build around him. What if they can't? They have almost no draft picks. Austin Reeves is their one good young player. Do you have confidence in the Lakers management right now? Other teams could look so much better to him. So you might say, no, this is way too soon to talk about with Luka, he just got there. But why not? If the Lakers do not impress Luka, he has so many options to choose from. Oh, but then The Athletic dropped a hit piece on Luka. And when people say that a beast was awakened in him, this is what they're talking about. In this article, they explain why Nico Harrison traded him. Nico is apparently obsessed with work ethic, being best friends with Kobe for years. But Doncic, who joined the Mavs in 2018, presented a different type of mentality from Bryant. Doncic drinks beer and smokes hookah, neither of which is atypical for a 25-year-old, but those behaviors didn't fit Harrison's mold. I mean, dude's got one picture smoking hookah 4 years ago in the offseason, now he's a hookah addict. They also confirmed that the only team Nico negotiated with was the Lakers, because he thought the best player Dallas could get realistically was Anthony Davis. And is he right? I mean, who's gonna give up their top 5 guy right now? I mean, if he calls the Spurs for Wemby, no. Calls the Nuggets for Jokic, no. Here's a look at the top 11 players according to The Ringer. So no to the top 3. Bucks hung up the phone. Maybe they could have gotten Kevin Durant, but he's 36 years old. Jalen Brunson is actually suspect in this top 10, plus bad blood with Dallas. Am I crazy to think Anthony Davis was actually the best player that Dallas could get? Now, it's still crazy that Nico didn't wait for the offseason to see if the Bucks implode, or they didn't get Austin Reeves from the Lakers. Dalton connect all their picks. But then again, maybe LA could see this future issue coming. Maybe they knew re-signing Luka is not guaranteed. And we're about to see how dangerous it actually is the next few months. But even if Luka re-signs, we have some big names on the move this offseason for sure. So I took a look at the top 4 names, including a crazy one that just popped up in a spicy rumor.